I welcome you all to this session. So, in this session I will touch upon the script and the storyboard, which is related with the educational video film production. We will cover the various aspects related to it. The contents of the lecture will include what is a storyboard. Okay. Since most of you are newcomers to this field, so we will start from the very elementary point. Then combining words and pictures on paper, how to get started. Planning of pictures, planning the words, how to write the words for the pictures. Then video script for lecture based programs. When you are doing a presentation based program, your requirements may be slightly different from the different other formats of educational program production. So, these are the topics that will be covered in the program and are in the scope of the lecture. First point is the script and the storyboard. What is the need of a script? So, most often the germ of an idea is verbal. Any idea. You want to do something. Either you say it by sharing with somebody, or you are thinking of something, still you share with somebody. So, it is verbal. No matter how visually oriented, it may be a very rich program, but you want to share it in terms of some words with your colleagues, your professional colleagues, and anybody else. So, whether a TV program is fully scripted drama or simply a talk show, the first outline is in written format, howsoever big a show may be that we see. There is a stage when it is scribbled on a piece of paper. That is the starting point. Okay. Then it goes to scale new heights and new successes, and maybe doing a very big commercial activity. So, by the time an idea is accepted for production, it is presented in script form in production meetings with notations about the actions, visual effects, along with the dialogues. The first stage is over when you shared something, it came on a piece of paper. So, next time you go into slightly more details of it, some more details like first meeting, what transpired in the first meeting. So, we are actually used to working in writing any important action that we do, like it is like maintaining a diary. Similarly, when we are working in this field, we do everything on a piece of paper. Your idea may be very great, but if we are not able to really bring about on a piece of paper, you can't really share it with others, and you can't popularize it and become more effective in communication. But there is a lacuna. You see, most often good writers are not very comfortable at visualization. You may be very good with words. Somebody can be a very good poet, but not a very good visualizer. Because the flight of imagination is different from what you are visualizing here. So, words are, I think, catering to a different requirement, and here we are dealing mostly with the field of pictures. So, it is required that the script writers should be visually oriented, more comfortable with visuals. So, the ideas may often be rejected as not quite what I had in mind. You share something with somebody that I want to do it, the other man may reject it. Sorry, it is not what I think of it. So, that is a mind stage of something. So, when we come to the script stage, it should be on a piece of paper, not that what you think of that. It has to ultimately come on a piece of paper. So, that these are the different stages of from idea to script. When we talk of scripts, scripts are of two types. One can be a script which comes from the writer, from the expert, from the faculty. Okay. And when that script goes to the producer, it becomes a director's script, because director will do the markings as per his requirements from his angle. on the location, on the post production, any sort of remark by the director. So he transformed that academic script into production script. The director script gives very specific shot information and indicates what is there in each shot. He may be doing it in terms of his own notations or his vocabulary, his grammar, that is universal and commonly shared by the production crew, right? So he puts his notations on that script, so that becomes a director script. The shooting script is divided into usually 2 vertical columns. Say first we have left hand side column contains visual information about each shot, while the right hand column contains text and dialogues together with notations for actors and talents. This is just format we are showing. So this is a space for the visuals, and this is a space for narration, the spoken words. The sequence of shots has to go from say 1, 2, 3 from top to bottom, and the number of pages will keep on adding. It may be a 5-page script, 10-page script, 20-page script, depending upon the length of the program, and what narration is going corresponding to each visual has to be scripted here. Okay, so this is called a video script. We also call it video script in storyboard format. It means you are telling a story through this visual frames. So sequence will be 1, 2, 3 and so on. Like this can give the numbers 1, 2, 3. These are the visuals, the pictures. You don't have to really sketch a picture. You should not be a very good artist to become a good script writer, but roughly you know how much you want to show. That much at least you should be able to scribble on that. And these are the spoken words. And maybe in the last column we can have some remarks about anything that helps you, like whether it's a graphic, whether it's a shot to be recorded outdoors, or any other remark, morning shot, evening shot, night shot, what industry, location. So when it says a 20-page script, so you should be clearly earmarking different things which will finally help you when you are on the production, on the shoot. So this storyboard helps you. But typically for a lecture based program or educational program, that maybe we'll be doing some projects here also, the typical storyboard may be of this, somewhere like this type. For example, it may have some textual information. So we can call it graphic, where you are listing certain points. So listing is 1, 2, 3, 4, and correspondingly the narration that goes between it will come here. So either it will be text which comes in the form of written information, or some animated pictures where some animation are required to be shown. But in any case, narration will always be there to supplement, not to explain everything. But this part is important, fine. So it will be a combination of these 3 elements in educational communication, but different elements can dominate a requirement at a particular point. For example, if you are listing down certain points, then text dominance is there. It should appear because we expect things to be written down. Then if there is some concept which you want to clarify, which otherwise cannot be taught on a 2-dimensional blackboard, cannot be explained by the spoken words, plan the animation. So animation work will be assigned to the persons, but it will be explained here. You will write down animation related to this, okay, and what narration goes with the animation, it will be written here. So the script that will come from the faculty will give the details of all these 3 elements, and in most of the cases 2 of the 3 will be utilized. It cannot be text and animation combined together with the narration. It will be either text or animation. Okay, we have to see which element will dominate in a particular scene. Fine. Then in visual communication, so we have different types of shots. So these are certain standard shots which we have a nomenclature also, like close up, long shot, medium long shot. Like the person, we show that he's shown in different types of shots: tight close up of the briefcase, shot of the face, tight close up of face, then next slightly wider, then this is medium close up shot, and so on. It means the shots are varying from very close shot to the extreme long shots, very long shots. What exactly is happening is the image size is varying. What is the need of these? See, the closer we go, we are highlighting a thing. Suppose we are talking of this keyboard. You can't explain it in a wide shot. You may start from a wide shot, but when we talk of a keyboard, you have to go to a closer shot.
Zoom in, zoom in.
Zoom in to get closer view. And when you are talking of further keys, functional keys and these things, it has to be still closer. Say big close up. For example, this shot, BCU, close up of the briefcase handle. Similarly, applied to any educational situation, the closer we go, the more attention we are giving to that particular thing, and you will zoom into a action point which is very important. For example, in a experiment, suppose some readings are shown, so you will like to show the indicator. Suppose you are weighing or calibrating something, so there should be a close up of the readings or the meter at that point. You can't have a reverse way. If you have a long shot, you will miss the action. Okay, so these shots are varied from tight close up to wide shot. Normally wide shots are used to establish. If you take a wide shot of this table, this will establish the location where I am sitting. Getting more and more closer, depending upon what I am teaching and what is being taught, you will complement with varying shots. Okay, the image size will be decided by you. Then in storyboard, see, when we are shooting something, suppose a dialogue situation, the storyboard really helps you. This, you see, it's a small situation. Frames go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, if there are dialogues for these situations, here you see that the mother and child on the swing are shown. The child, then the close up of child is shown here. He is seeing the mother. See, shots are varying. Then how the child is seeing the mother, the expression of the mother. It's a tight close up of the mother, that she is angry. He can make out. It's a, see, in terms of visual communication. You see, for taking this shot, the camera is going the other way. Okay. After that, this, what should be the next shot? Next shot is the frightening face of the child, that he has been playing since morning and he has not done the homework. Okay. Then the usually what happens is happening. So this is a 2 shot. Mother is pulling the ears of the child. Meanwhile, this is a 3 shot. The father is also in the picture. He enters the frame here from the back. So let us see in terms of just visual communication, how the visuals are changing. They are helping to narrate a story. Right? Shots are changing to enhance the impact. Close up is taken where expression is dominating. Okay. Long shots are taken where some background action is taking place or establishing is being done. What is the location? This is also a long shot. This is a close up. This is a close up. This is a still tight close up. So if you are, suppose you want to shoot this sequence and you have a rough sketching like this as a visualizer, as a director, and you give it to your assistant for shooting. So even if you are not there at the shooting place, he will exactly give you the same framings, because this reads your mind. This is how you want the story to show. So these are your frames. So even if the director is absent, these shots are already sketched, roughly scribbled by you on the storyboard. So shooting and the dialogues are also given. So same shots will be recorded. Of course, the performance of the artist can vary, but at least the visualization and the composition, you will be able to get the same, even if you are not physically present there. Okay. So this really helps in production as a team. Next point is scenes in story order. See, the story goes from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Storyboard will give the sequences in order, okay? But the point to highlight here is that shooting is not done as per the storyboard. Suppose in this situation we show that these are the two security men on the top of the castle. Some horse is coming. These two security men are now discussing who this man can be. This is the close up of the person who is coming. They are trying to build the story now. Then they show the wide shot of the castle. Fine. So you will find that these shots have been taken from different levels. This is a shot taken from the ground level. So this is a low angle shot. This is a shot as seen by these two people. This is a high angle shot. Again, this shot is taken from the ground level. This is a low angle shot. This is a ground level shot, the person approaching the castle. This is again a ground level shot which gives the wide angle shot to establish the castle. Can we shoot it in this sequence? This is, suppose we plan to shoot like this. It means first you are on the ground floor, then you ride to the top of the castle, again you come to the ground floor, then you are on the ground, you record these two shots also. But cameras don't jump like this. If you are on the ground floor, you will complete all the shots at the ground level, because cameras, lights and everything, and the crew, actors, shifting of these places from one location to another takes lot of time. So once you are on the ground, you will ensure that all the shots as per your storyboard, which are to be recorded at the ground floor level, will be recorded. Having ensured that total shooting of the ground level is done, then you will shift the crew to the top of the castle to take the shots of the artists at the ground level. Things are reversing. When the crew is here, then the cast is at the top of castle also. So there has to be total coordination. When you are planning a shoot, you should know who is to report where. The persons whose shots are to be recorded at the ground level, they will be available at the ground level, and the persons who are required at the first floor, they should report there while you are shooting at the ground level. So it's a team effort. Complete coordination is required. Another utility of storyboard. This is just like editing a scene. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, you can see that this tells a story. Like a car is going, then same car is shown turning here. This is the close up of car. Somebody is on the terrace with a gun. He sees the person in the car, then he is aiming through the gun, then touches the trigger to fire. The moment he fires, the man ducks and the bullet hits the glass. Now again we are using all the variety of shots. This is a long shot, this is a closer view, still closer view, very close shot, very tight close up, and again the close up. They have been placed like this. This will not only help during the shooting, but this will also help during the editing, because in the actual story these have to go like this. Action is this, okay? And one more advantage of storyboard, see, you can see the direction of shots. Like this shot and this shot, they do not go together one after another. The direction of the car is different here. See, it is going like this, and here the car is shown going in the other direction. Then it gives an immediate clue that these two shots will not match one after another. It means you have to provide some continuity, plan that part. So this immediately gives you the edit points where you require some continuity or where there is a continuity jump. Okay, so this you can make out using a storyboard. This is just sample. Then in studio type of situation, when we are demonstrating something, then there are certain expectations, and we have certain techniques also. Like this man is doing some filing work here. So what is the highlight here? Highlight is this action, what he is doing. So highlights can be captured through a separate camera and shown simultaneously using a split window. Okay. So while this man is performing this action, the main highlight action is also seen simultaneously. So this is a correlation. So it enhances the educational value of a communication, because more important part is this. Okay. Similarly, when you are performing to the camera, you have to see how you are placed and what is your position and where the camera is placed. You have to actually perform the action to the camera, and shots should reveal the things, not conceal, and it should be naturally done. For example, in this particular shot, when the girl is knitting something, if the camera is placed in front like this, it will not be able to take this shot. So for taking this shot, the camera has gone to the back of this girl. So we call it over the shoulder shot. Okay. So camera placing is to capture the shot from an angle where you highlight the thing. Okay. So here the design can be shown if it is taken from the back of this girl. Similarly, using the special effects, you can show, say, transitions or different time lapses. Man is watering the seed, and in the next shot you can show that after some time. This is the difference. This and that. Maybe there is a time lapse. So these are the devices that we use